Bismillah wa salatu wa salam wa rasulullah wa ba'd. In the name of Allah, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon his last and final messenger. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love and no hatred in my heart. Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we got a lot of haters up in here. And let me tell y'all, we got a doozy of a show tonight. I want to apologize for leaving y'all for so long. I was basically planning the new infrastructure of the show. As you guys can see, the last couple of weeks I've been doing a lot of testing and whatnot. Right? So inshallah, I think we got all the kinks and the quirks figured out here, and inshallah we are back on track. But this show here, let me tell y'all, this show here, family, you are going to want to share this one. Y'all hearing me? This is like, I know it's late night, but just trust me on this one, okay? Money back guaranteed. I know y'all watch for free, but yo, let me tell y'all something. Listen here, family. Look here, family. The wickedly wise, they strategize and manipulate the structure of society for generations in advance. All right. We know this. We understand this. They are not like us. When they are thinking about the future, they are thinking 25 years in the future, 50 years in the future. And these very folks are the same folks who manipulate the thought processes of humanity. Okay? The regulation of resistance has been made an art form in modern times. What do you mean by this, Bilal? I mean, those who are wickedly wise, they regulate how much resistance they are going to receive when they roll out these plans generations in advance. You're talking about some very intelligent, wicked yet intelligent folks, okay? They're not like us, okay? In the past, this regulation was done mostly through mass media, spy agencies, education, propaganda, infiltration, all of this codified in the records of actual intelligence agencies. Okay, you're talking about the FBI, the CIA, and of course, historical pieces. They recorded all this stuff. Y'all hearing me? They was not messing around. And while they were codifying all of these plans and plots and how they're going to control resistance, what happened was, particularly in modern times, a new tool emerged in order where they not only have to, they don't have to essentially, try to infiltrate anymore. That tool is social media. In 2024, there is a much more powerful method to stimulate populist movements: the social media platforms. This is how populist movements are regulated today. It's cheap, it's covert, and it's so powerful that the end user will be all too eager and enthusiastic to investing in their own indoctrination. The powers that shouldn't be have this process right down to a science, okay? They have streamlined populist movements and narrations so tightly that you can talk to any random person in 2024, and in under a minute, you'll be able to figure out their entire worldviews, their political affiliations, whether they're a good person or an evil person, just within a few seconds of talking to them. That's how powerful this tool is. Shaping what the crowd believes nurtures the predictability of their behaviors and public opinion. You see, this is how the powers that shouldn't be operate. They ain't thinking like us. They on a different level. Okay? They plot and they plan, removing happenstance and probability of failure out of the equation as much as possible. So Allah says in the Quran, وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ, okay? That they plot and plan, and Allah plots and plans. Wallahu khairul makirin, right? And Allah is the best of planners. Okay, Allah says in the Quran. So you could imagine in our time, this was when the Quran was revealed. Imagine the plots of the enemy in our time, 1,400 years after the fact. Influence is the new crowd control weapon of choice. There was a time, maybe over 15 years ago, where alternative media actually meant something. Okay, it was essentially an exit point away from corporate funded media to media sources which had no ulterior motives. Now, all media, whether they call themselves alternative media or not, is in fact corporate media. I'm going to say that one more again, just in case you missed it. Nowadays, all media, whether they call themselves alternative media or not, is in fact corporate media. They're all businesses, which means they're all in it for the money, which means that they are beholden to paymasters. And as the old narrative goes, whoever pays the piper names the tune. And whoever, so in modern times, how you say that in modern times, whoever controls the algorithm controls the narrative, okay? For y'all who missed that. And all of your YouTubian elites are under control, firm control. Make no mistake about it. Not some, all of them. Y'all hearing me? Press number 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me, please. Number 1's in the chat if you're getting the sound. Now look at here, family. Caste systems, the system of caste, okay? They have been used for millennia by powers that shouldn't be to maintain domination. In the first time in human history, we have a global caste system. And the global caste system is that of white supremacy. Okay? This is the first time it's ever happened in human history. Now, family, do you have to be white to be a white supremacist? Yes or no? Yes or no? Somebody put in the chat. Do you have to be white to be a white supremacist? Somebody put in the chat, please. Yes or no? The dominant white society seeks to control the abundant, darker societies of the earth, correct? Jazakallah khair, brothers. Black man, he says, I'm super clear. Alhamdulillah. We got it all figured out now, alhamdulillah. Right, so we're going to be using this platform for a while, inshallah. Right, I do prefer this platform. I think it's aesthetically nicer, but that's neither here nor there. But Jazakallah khair, thanks for coming through, brother. Right? Let's share this live, y'all. Sister Tika says, nope, you do not have to be white to be a white supremacist. You absolutely do not have to be white to be a white supremacist. Okay? But look at here, family. The fact that you don't have to be white in order to participate in white supremacy, what is the end result of that? It incentivizes those who wish to be close to whiteness to actually strive for that goal. So any caste system necessitates the cooperation from the majority of its participants, correct? The first people to master a color caste system was that of the Hindus some 5,000 years ago. And it continues until this day. When you had the caste system of global white supremacy, which began around 400 years ago or so, right? These systems, both these systems, used religion as the catalyst to justify their demonic oppression over darker skinned people. Now, I want y'all to pay attention, y'all. These systems both used religion. Are y'all hearing me? The Hindus used the Hindu religion, and the white supremacists used the Christian religion. And furthermore, the white supremacists invented a new religion to expedite their plans for white supremacy, which is modern atheism. Modern atheism is not like classical atheism. Modern atheism wants to hide and camouflage itself as a scientific, logical explanation for everything, right? That's what they're doing. Therefore, you don't need a God. And scientifically, the white man is superior. Look at here, family. These systems, okay? These religions that were used as catalysts for oppressing people all over the Western world. In modern times, laws were enacted that were meant to maintain control over the darkest skinned people of the earth, correct? In order to justify this control. Up until this very day, they say the same type of things. Okay? Intentionally excluding black people from participating in economics and politics in the West, while illegalizing normal human behavior for black folk. Like Jim Crow laws, like redlining, gentrification, war on drugs. Are y'all hearing me? All of this was happening in full view of the world. Yet Muslims, all of a sudden, can recognize it only when it happens to Palestinians. They can't see it when it happens to black folk, but they can see it when it happens to Palestinians. All of a sudden, those folks who never stood up for us and have always defended Zaddy at every turn have found their voices against oppression. Can you imagine that? Suddenly, they have figured out that what racism is. All of a sudden, they know what racism is. All it took was for our brothers and sisters in Palestine, may Allah have mercy on all of them, to be massacred, humiliated, in full view of the world. May Allah aid them. Ameen. Everybody say Ameen in chat. May Allah have mercy upon them. Ameen. And may Allah destroy his and our enemies all over the earth. Ameen. Everybody Ameen in the chat. So what you're witnessing is exactly what black people globally have been going through for centuries. Just like you're witnessing in real time the Palestinians living a life that is reactionary to Zionist Jews, black folk must live their lives in a reactionary fashion to white folks. Now we know, as black people, we're constantly navigating through white society. Right? We have to do that by necessity. It's a survival mechanism. We have to do it. We know that we're in management mode. We understand this. We know that there are forces that are just overdetermined, to things that we can't control, like the way the police treat our children, like job prospects, like how we're portrayed, like mass incarceration, and so on and so on and so on. Things that are completely out of our control from the randomness of us being in black bodies. Okay? We know this. Now, you have this other thing. You have a situation where these immigrants who just got here, mind you, they just got here. You ain't built anything in the West. And the only history that we see of y'all with regards to the West is that of helping Zaddy and them take down the Ottoman Empire, which you loved, allegedly loved. That's all we see. That ain't got nothing to do with us. You all just got here, and all of a sudden, as soon as you arrive, you are privy to all the benefits and the perks that black folk work and fought and bled and strive for, while we are completely locked out. And then you have the nerve to tell us about working hard, pulling up ourselves up by our bootstraps, and so on and so forth. And you just got here. But just like the Hindus have their society participating in their color caste system, and the Christians have pushed up the system of racism, white supremacy down our throats, and then they modified it and tuned it up with modern day atheism. And now we have a new breed. Remember what we talked about, how they used religion in order to push the supremacy of the white over the black. They used that. They used the religion in order to perpetuate these caste systems. Now you have a new breed of alleged Muslims. Alleged Muslims. These folks who have abandoned what the Quran and the Sunnah have ordered in terms of brotherhood, in terms of the supremacy of folks. They've abandoned all of that in order and to aid and embed the white supremacists in their crimes against humanity. Can you imagine becoming an apologist with a thobe and a kufiya and a beard for the white supremacist? Can you imagine? The only prerequisite, and I'm going to say this, and I want y'all to pay attention and pay attention good. The only prerequisite that these members of the racially superior dominant society need to get in the good graces of your Utopian da'i elites is that they say something good about Islam, and that's it. That is it. They are openly free to say nigger, to spread racially charged hate speech against black folk, and they will never, ever, ever receive any pushback at all. And I mean at all. From your Muslim media moguls. Are y'all hearing me? They do not have to do anything except for say one or two nice words about Islam. Oh, Islam's great. Can you come on my show? Can I do an hour-long podcast with you, Zaddy? As a matter of fact, your immigrant Muslims have joined the, whatchamacallit, the shucking and jiving parade, seeking Zaddy's approval. May Allah never, ever approve them. Ameen. May Allah never approve them. Ameen. May Allah never approve anybody who approves Allah's open enemies. Ameen. How could you not know? Anybody who has read even just a few pages of the Quran, a few ahadith, how can you not know that the white supremacist is not your enemy on earth? How do you not know that? It's exactly like Iblis when he went to Adam in the garden. And he told Adam, verily, I am a sincere advisor to you. Was he sincere? Was Iblis sincere to Adam? He tricked Adam. He duped Adam. He hoodwinked Adam. He got Adam and Eve kicked out the garden, correct? But Adam didn't know. He had no clue. You have the Quran and you have the Sunnah. You have the entire playbook of how your enemy works. And all your enemy has to do is say one or two good words about Islam. And you're going to put them in front of all the Muslims. Talking about, yeah, let's be brothers. Let's be brothers. Let's be brothers. Can we be brothers? Can we? Man, shut your pie hole up. Shut your pie hole up. You are talking about people who are openly at war with the Quran and the Sunnah. Openly. And they covertly try to make Islam something that fits nicely into the political agenda of overt white supremacists. May Allah raise them with the zadis that they love so much on Yom Al-Qiyamah. Ameen. Everybody say Ameen. So family, y'all thought I was tripping. I'm not, y'all know me. Everybody thinks I'm tripping until I bring the receipts. And then I'm not tripping no more. So I want to show y'all some stuff, okay? So let's get into the nitty gritty. Because your YouTubian da'i elites, in my humble opinion, they are way more dangerous than any non-Muslim media today. Far more dangerous. Non-Muslim media could not do what your YouTubian da'i elites are doing. So much so that entire channels by non-Muslims are made, and all they do is clip the words of your YouTubian da'i, your more popular ones, the most popular ones. They take clips, they say, here, look at this. Look at this guy said. Look what this guy said. And they're not taking anything out of context. Because your YouTubian da'i elites are the replacement of your ulama. I'm going to say that one more again. The YouTubian da'i elites are the replacement of your ulama. Y'all hearing me? They're not here to promote the ulama. They're here to replace them. You know, great replacement theory that every white supremacist like to talk about so much. So let's watch this video first, y'all. 1 second. Right? We're going to watch this short clip of an individual named Owen Benjamin. Okay? This clip is showing why Owen Benjamin got canceled. For y'all who don't know who Owen Benjamin is, you're going to hear most of it in this clip anyway. So let's keep watching, y'all. Let's watch, y'all. No sound? Can y'all hear? There's no sound on it? 1 second, y'all. Let me just try to fix this, y'all. Sorry. 1 second. Okay. Can y'all hear me, though? I think y'all can hear me. Let's go back. All right. Let me try to fix this. Maybe I have to download this video. I'm going to download it for y'all. 1 second. Let me just download this stuff, y'all. You know how we do. We always have to have sound problems at one point in time, right? That is a staple on the features. A staple feature on the features, okay? Y'all are going to have some technical difficulties, all right? Because we are ghetto up in here, okay? 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Let me just try to download this and see if we can get it going for y'all. 1 second. Let me download. Believe me, y'all gonna want to stay for this one, man. Trust me, man. Download here. Oh, you know what? It's 20-minute long video. Let me see if I can get the sound working from YouTube directly. 1 second. One second, y'all. All right. So I'm going to do it like this. Right? And we're going to do this. A different way. We're going to do it the ghetto way. All right? So y'all hear me and not the vid. Okay, no problem. No problem, y'all. The staple feature of the features, you know you're going to get some technical difficulties. You know that already. You don't know. 1 second, y'all. Let me just fix this up. Tell me y'all if y'all can hear now. Okay? 1 second.
Babies.
Dude, they're toddlers. They're like
3.
Dude, it's I'll die in the hill, man. I even asked my brother, my buddy.
That's a hill to die on.
Like, dude, I literally was like, I'm unemployed, and he had me like read. That's when you know your friends are, man. He's like, yo, will you read this? You can be like a DA. I just
to talk about the whole situation stuff. He thinks that is. I think he called it child abuse. You know, I don't have the exact tweets here, but it didn't seem like he said anything that extreme. I think most people would kind of agree with him. But obviously in Hollywood, you're not allowed to say that kind of thing. And this was pretty much at the peak of cancel culture. So Joe had Owen on to talk about the whole situation and talk about being canceled.
So there was this guy who has he had a 3-year-old boy that he claimed was transgendered and identified as a girl and started, planning on giving him hormone therapy so they don't go through puberty. And this dude has like power in Hollywood, and I just called him out, and I got swarmed, and I just didn't stop because I'm like, I'll die on this hill.
Yeah, that's a hill to die on.
And so, long story short, I make these problematic statements, and then my agent drops me. And
how did your agent drop you for saying a 3-year-old shouldn't be given chemicals that kill his dick and balls?
Because I was rocking the boat, man. And it's like this college, UConn dropped me. I had like a good gig, and they said that because of your views, you can't work here. And then
did they specifically talk about which views?
Yeah, I even tweeted the email because I was sick of this shit, man.
Which views?
The trans kids. It's only trans kids. That's my whole thing.
But it's trans babies.
Dude, they're toddlers. They're like
3.
Dude, I'll die in the hill, man. I even asked my brother, my buddy.
That's a hill to die on.
Like, dude, I literally was like, I'm unemployed, and he had me like read. That's when you know your friends are, man. He's like, yo, will you read this? You can be like a DA in this fucking murder podcast. I was like, great. He's like, I'll throw you some cash. I thought I was out. I'm like, brother, can I do some more tree work? He's like, 20 an hour, you got boots? I'm like,
but think about that you, as a guy who I've known for a long time, has been a successful professional comedian, are really always that close to being pushed aside and not given work anymore over something that's totally logical.
Dude, I just got in a development deal at like True TV and shit. It's not even like I was doing badly.
Did True TV keep the development deal? Or did they bang?
Dude, I don't even have reps anymore.
But do you talk to True TV like, hey, it's Owen?
No, they're cool people. I've just been so like.
So the reps all abandoned you by saying that you don't think 3-year-olds.
Well, yeah, and
trannies.
Yeah, and also I guess
Sorry,
I was saying it.
Crossed the
It was
line
like
by saying
problematic. You know, I was too much. I was poking people that aren't allowed to be poked. These powerful.
All right, family. So you're getting the gist of it here, right? So what you're gonna notice with modern populist movements, particularly the alt-right, it's like this stuff here is like a gateway drug. Y'all hearing me? It works exactly like a gateway drug. So the first thing they start off with is they're going to be against the LGBTs and they don't want kids to be trannies and blah, blah, blah. And it's immoral, it's immoral, it's immoral. And even Joe Rogan goes, oh, that's a good hill to stand on. You know what I'm saying? Right? Those of y'all who are old enough to remember when, when I would say it's mostly around the time when Barack Obama became president, and then we started seeing some great resistance against anybody who had a problem with, back then it was homosexuality. There was no such thing as no LGBT. LGBT came after Barack Obama. Okay? But what were the Muslims doing? What were the Muslims doing when the LGBTs were trying to cancel everybody for speaking against LGBTs? Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Who remembers? Man, you couldn't find these immigrants anywhere. As a matter of fact, they was out there talking about, oh, you know, we're not against homosexuality. We're just against the act of homosexuality. You know, who remembers these folks, man? You just caught the tail end of Jonathan Brown and all that kind of stuff. You weren't there in the beginning. Some of y'all who were there in the beginning, you remember. And these are the folks that want to be in charge of Islamic affairs in the West. Y'all hearing me? But like I said, this stuff is like a gateway drug, okay? They start off with this stuff, you know? I'm against 3-year-olds getting tranny stuff and tranny stuff, right? So this dude, he gets canceled because he don't want the 3-year-olds to get hormone therapy, right? They all start off like that. But they always end up in hardcore, deep white supremacy somewhere. And the Muslims who invite them to their channels, they're not inviting the ones who are just against tranny surgery. No, they're not inviting those ones. They want the ones who are against tranny surgery and are white supremacists. Like Owen Benjamin. What you mean, Bida? See, we just saw at the beginning where Joe Rogan is like, yeah, I mean, that's a good hill to stand on. Then a few months later, as the whole saying, a few moments later, right? SpongeBob, right? Joe Rogan tries to have an intervention for Owen Benjamin, right? Let's listen to what he's saying about this intervention, y'all. Let's watch, y'all. Watch. Y'all ain't going to believe this. Watch this, y'all.
From here, but Joe, he didn't really help out here. It seemed like it only made things worse. So maybe he could have handled this a better way, but I think he needs to do this with Jordan Peterson now. He never will, but Jordan Peterson, somebody needs to tell that man to take a break on Twitter. He's obsessed with it. He's obsessed with the anonymous troll demons. They definitely got the best of him.
I wanted to talk to you about social media.
Okay.
Because I love you.
I love you too.
I think you're a very good guy. I really do. But you are the worst representative of yourself on social media.
I'm a bad lawyer of myself.
It's a bad form of getting out tricky ideas.
it's a bad form. It's just
Right.
not good. You know, you have to really think about what you're saying.
It's like you're yelling like as you're falling into a well. You have
Yeah.
like one sentence.
But you are without a doubt addicted. And I know you bailed
Yeah.
on your phone for a while and you went to a flip
Flip
phone.
phone, yeah.
But I see these manic tweets from you, and I just want to go hang out with you and go, dude, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
why are you constantly tweeting and attacking people? And
It's like sometimes the chaos helps me. You're right. I mean, you're right.
Right.
Like I'm not challenging that statement, but like I see it as almost like an idea sonar where you're just like,
I get that. I get
Yeah.
that, but I get that because I know you, and I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
you're
yeah.
a really good dude in real life.
thanks, man.
So when I see this online and I see these blurting outpost, just outbreak posts, they're just like blah, like you got mental diarrhea. I mean, just let me see if I can throw the word in there for a goof. Let me see if I can,
Right.
say something that's going to piss people off. And it's just,
Listen what he said, y'all. Listen to what he said. Look.
yeah. I mean, just let me see if I can throw the word in there for a goof. Let me see if I can.
You know that he cut out that part, right? He's saying, "Let me see if I can throw the N word in there for a goof." The N word. Did y'all catch that? What do you mean, Bilal? Y'all want to see what I mean? Who wants to see what Brother Bilal, the features means right about now? Y'all want to see? Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for this. Look at here, family. This is Owen Benjamin. I'm pretty sure this is either his Twitter or his Telegram, one of the two, right? But look what he's saying. Look at the date. Look at the time, y'all. This is February 2nd, this year. This month of February, blacks all around America are celebrating us giving them a month. Who is this us? White folks. That's just the light stuff, family. That is just we come in and when you with your wife, you got to ease into it. You can't just go la, 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 it's gonna be a turnoff. We got to ease you in. Y'all hearing me? Wait, there's more. This Owen Benjamin group. Look at what his followers saying. Looking at these numbers, BB, and it was probably a good idea to withdraw your slavery offer. Maybe if government paid you half the 70.75 million liability they have on their hands, then we could prevent a few black baby deaths. Are y'all hearing this? Still a risk, in my opinion. Maybe if you boosted watermelon in the yard bird production, you could get closer to black in the accounting sense. Just thinking outside the box. This is what they're doing. This is what they're saying about Black History Month. That's one of his followers. But wait, there's more. There's more. Watch, y'all. This is in his group. Like I said, way back when, if Thomas Jefferson fathered a bunch of slaves and black people owes themselves reparations, and white people are the root of the bike theft of all bike theft, hysterical. These are his followers. Whoever is missing the causation, the cost is this much because of the government provides much more benefits than they pay back. If you remove the benefit, probably the problem would simply disappear. They'd work or starve or steal and get killed eventually trying. Who is going to work or starve or steal or get killed eventually trying? Black folks. But wait, there's more. Owen Benjamin, he posted this. Per capita lifetime budgetary impact of whites, blacks, and Hispanics. Look what he says. White, because, white folks, they didn't enslave, they didn't make their money off of slavery, lying, raping, pillaging, they didn't do all that. They did it all just pulling up themselves up on their body bootstraps. He posts this. And black, of course, are the lowest, right? Minus $750,200, right? And the source is usgovernmentspending.com. It's some alt-right website. It's not actually a US government website. Happy Black History Month. Look what he says. A group of people so expensive that they also have to constantly complain, yell at movie screens, mispronounce 3 letters like the word ask. This is Owen Benjamin. And remind everyone about the one time they worked 300 years ago. The one time we worked 300 years ago. Family, we posted here in one of the videos when the last slave was freed in America. Do y'all remember what year it was? I'll leave y'all to it, okay? I'll see what some of your answers are. What year was the last slave freed in the U.S.? What year was it? This is Owen Benjamin saying this. Us black folk, we can't pronounce ask. We have to say axe. Because we went to what every immigrant goes to, English strategies learning class, the ESL classes. We weren't taught English from the whip, and it wasn't us. And remind everyone about that one time we worked 300 years ago. They want to continue to be paid for work they may or may not have done 300 years ago. That's so insane. That's Owen Benjamin who said that. It's not one of his followers now. He said that. Okay? Look here. Owen Benjamin posts. If y'all can't see, I can't breathe. George Floyd hot sauce. I can't breathe. Plantation burger. Niggles fried chicken. George Floyd hot sauce at Niggles Chicken is so spicy you literally can't breathe. That's what he posted. Anti-gravity, correct, 1965. 1965. Niggles fried chicken. And this is a Muslim, mind you. Sajid Qasim Abdul. It says, what is it? Abdul Zahra? Abdul Zahra. Okay? I think that's what it means. It says right there. Anyway, this Sajid, he says, he's writing this. Niggles fried chicken or niggers fried chicken. He wrote it. Your Muslim brothers. And then he puts a heart on it. Owen Benjamin, he writes. Oh, I told y'all we have to ease y'all in. Okay? He writes, Owen Benjamin. We taught the Africans how to work, how to farm. Can you imagine? This white man, looky here. This white man is saying that white folks taught black people, Africans, how to work, how to farm, the wheel. White folks taught black folks the wheel, mind you. Here's what he's saying. What private property is, the idea that murder is bad. The white man is teaching the black man the idea that murder is bad.
That's stupid.
Are you kidding? He's serious, dude. That's the funny thing. He's serious. He's not joking. He says that white people taught black folks that idea that murder is bad. Wow. Wow. maybe he can go teach those white folks in Israel the idea that murder is bad too. Maybe he can teach them. It's his folks. Owen Benjamin. Can you believe that? Anyways, they come so far in only a few hundred years. When a father takes the training wheels off, they still may fall, but at some point they have to be free. Unfortunately, I think we jumped the gun that they weren't able quite ready. Meaning that we were not quite ready to be freed from slavery. Since 1960, they've been in a free fall. Literacy rates are plummeting. Can you imagine? How can you plummet from a 0% literacy rate? Owen Benjamin. We are the only people on earth that have gone from a 0% literacy rate to a 60% literacy rate in 12 years. And you still couldn't stand it. Those people who taught us how killing was wrong ended up murdering us because of our literacy rate. Owen Benjamin. Can you imagine? He is saying that our literacy rates are plummeting and ain't got nothing to do with white folks. Can you imagine that? Literacy rates are plummeting to almost as bad as when we found them. We found them. Who did they find? We found them naked on Mosquito Coast. Can you imagine? This Black History Month, give them credit where credit is due. When you see them wearing pants or driving a car, let them know that they've come a long way. But there's still more to do. I don't think they understand private property or consent, but they're close. We don't understand private property or consent, but we're close. Because the white man's going to teach us about private property. Just like they taught the native Indians all over the earth about private property. What did they teach them? They taught them when they landed in every single place where indigenous people lived that this is our property and we own it. So get off because it's private. You people who were here first, you don't belong here. Owen Benjamin and people, we're not done. We're not done. This one is as follows. My family roots are from Tennessee in a town where a section of town is known as Nigger Town. That is where everyone got the best barbecue. There was no hate in that town between blacks and whites when the Nigger Town was established and certainly segregated. The division between black and white has gotten more pronounced since Obama's presidency. Can you believe this stuff? This sign reminds me of Nigger Town sign. Can you believe this stuff? So, oh, we're not done. We're not done. We got some more. You know what? Let me just ask y'all. Because this is like a lot, right? What would you say if we invited Mr. Owen Benjamin to the Feachaz? Should we invite Mr. Owen Benjamin to the Feachaz so we can talk about Islam and some of the nice things he says about Muslims and stuff like that? What do y'all think about that? You think it's a good idea? Do y'all think it's a good idea? Let's invite, because, we know he hates black folk and he hates the niggers and, you know what I mean? And, his benevolent white people, they taught us how to put on clothes and how not to kill and how not to be cannibalistic and how to farm and what the wheel is and how to speak with words instead of grunting sounds. The benevolent white man. He taught us all of that stuff. He taught us how to read. He taught us how to write. He taught us about Jesus. He taught about religion. He taught us about private property. Do y'all think it's a good idea? I mean, he might not like black folk, but he says some nice stuff about the Muslims and stuff. Should we invite Mr. Owen Benjamin to the Feachaz? Yes or no, family? Somebody put in the chat, please. What do y'all think? Should all the Muslims invite Mr. Owen Benjamin to their Muslim platforms? I mean, we understand he says nigger and coontown and, you know what I mean, black folks just can't get it together and they're just complaining about the slavery, that the one piece of work they did 300 years ago. We know he said all of that. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. But he says some nice stuff about Islam. So can we invite Mr. Owen Benjamin to the Muslim platforms? The big Muslim platforms? Because he may have said a million bad things about black folk, but he sure said that, he respects Islam. What y'all think? Black Mind said he can't recommend. Black Mind say, oh, hell no. He's saying, He's saying it in a nice way. He's saying it in a diplomatic way. Well, do you know who thinks it's a good idea to invite Owen Benjamin to Muslim platforms? Look what the Muslim is saying in response to Owen Benjamin. The Muslim saying this. Ibrahim X saying, bring in more niggers at this point. Legit would rather be in London with 50 IQ niggers stabbing people in these cuck church and hypocrites with the testosterone of a gay frog. Muslim saying that. Tika Earnings like, oh, hell no, you better not. Jazakallah khair, may Allah reward you and bless you and multiply for you a millionfold. Sister Tika with the $10 super chat. May Allah give these oppressive liars what they deserve and increase us and success against their treachery. Ameen. Ameen. Everybody say Ameen. Ameens in the chat, please. I want to see the chat full of Ameens. Black man saying Owen deserves no chance to explain his views. Well, that may be according to you, Black Mind, but not according to Eddie from the Dean Show. Owen Benjamin, who also said about I Can't Breathe, George Floyd hot sauce, who also said that, also says, great chat with the Dean Show today about how I used to hate Muslims. Great chat with Eddie from the Dean Show about how I used to hate Muslims. Until I looked more into 9/11 and usury. And how I briefly fell into a Zionist trap. The reason people invested in the Iraq and Afghanistan wars freak out about any truther is once you see them saying blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 Eddie. Blah, 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 Eddie.
That's stupid.
Oh, Eddie had him on recently. This dude was done. Ain't nobody was messing with him. Nobody cared about him. Ironically enough, Eddie wasn't the first one. Nobody was missing no Owen Benjamin. He was canceled even by the people who were victims of cancel culture. But as we said before, remember when we told you in the beginning that if you want to get into the good graces of the Utopian that elites, be a white racist and then say something nice about Islam, that's all you have to do. They will revive your career. They will give you a platform. They will push you in front of millions and millions and millions and millions of Muslims. They will do it for you. That's Eddie from the Dean Show. And ironically enough, he wasn't the first. We are the ones here on the Feachaz that told you first, years ago, about the alt-right Muslims, about the white supremacist Muslims, about this push to have Muslims accept white supremacy. We told you that first. Is there any doubt today? Because in those days, the first one to do it was Daniel Hikikachu. And he was hiding. But he ain't the only one anymore. You got Eddie from the Dean Show. You got 5 Pillars. And y'all ain't gonna believe this. You are not gonna believe who the newest recruit of white supremacist Islam is. Y'all ain't ready for this. You want to see who the newest recruit of white supremacist Islam is? Like I told you, these folks, they want white supremacy and Islam. Y'all hearing me? Because they themselves want to be white. We saw all the work, all of Owen Benjamin's classy work against black folk, right? And you would think that somebody like Shadi al-Misri, doctor, mind you, Shadi al-Misri, might press him about some of his racist, it's not even covert, it's overtly racist, blatantly racist, clearly racist, unmistakably racist. Even the hard N-word, saying nigger, hard N-word in writing, that's not a red line for your Utopian elites. Say the N-word, hard N-word, no problem. Would you like to come on my show and revive your dead career? All you got to do is say 1, 2 good things about Islam. Y'all want to hear what Dr. Shadi al-Misri considers a pushback against Owen Benjamin and his racism? Let's hear it, y'all. Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. Let's get it.
The wrongness is the imagination of superiority.
Right.
And
Exactly.
like excluding people, making people feel left out. That's what the wrong is, right? So it was an interesting conversation. Do you have anything else that you'd like to bring to the table?
No, I could talk about this all day because it's so interesting to me. Because it's like I got to go soon though, obviously. But that point you just made, like about how isn't one of
But that's the exact reason is he's trying to prove that that's not erasing that. The other guy is Rob DeFore. I can't remember what his organization's called, but he's the opposite. He's Canadian. He's way up north. And he's also bringing this thing where I'm a Muslim, but I'm not erasing my Canadian heritage here, right? And he says, we talked a lot about what if we had a nation that where like we could have, or a conference or a meeting, we could have a conference of Latino Muslims. No one would have a problem, right? We're all Latino converts. No one would have a problem. If we said we have a black imams forum, imams who are African-American, we're going to discuss our issues. So he then asked me, and he knows, right? He knows there's going to be a problem. He said, "What if I said a white convert conference?" Right? I said, "What would be wrong with that?" Right? What would be wrong with that? Because you have your own issues, right? That relates to your culture. The wrongness is the imagination of superiority,
Right.
and
Exactly.
excluding people, making people feel left out. That's what the.
Is there anything wrong with what he said so far? But he's talking about Rob the Four. How are you talking about Rob the Four with a man like a guy who is habitually saying the hard N-word? How are you comparing the two? Owen Benjamin. Owen Benjamin is a racist. Do any of y'all consider Rob the Four racist? Who is saying Rob the Four is a racist? Owen Benjamin is a hardcore racist. Did you challenge Owen Benjamin on your channel for saying the hard N-word? But look at here, y'all. Watch this, yo.
Wrong is, right? So it was an interesting conversation. Do you have anything else that you'd like to bring to the table?
No, I could talk about this all day because it's so interesting to me. Because it's like I got to go soon though, obviously. But that point you just made, like about how isn't one of the guarantees of Islam like your culture, like your family lineage, as long as you don't think you're better than other people?
Yeah, you're supposed to love them.
Does Owen Benjamin think he's not better than other people? Does this apply to him? Or does he think that his people found our people naked in the jungle somewhere, speaking some crickety-crack language, couldn't farm, killing each other, cannibals, no religion, no culture, no nothing like that, and then they civilized us? Are these two the same things? Are we talking about somebody who is culturally white versus a white supremacist? And did Dr. Shadi al-Misri challenge him on his white supremacy?
The prophet said he loved his tribe, or he loved his lineage.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like it's so ironic because so many Christian nationalists are like afraid to even talk that way, but they want it and blah, blah. I'm like, dude, Islam literally guarantees that. Like you have a right to your people. You just can't say that your blood means you can kill other blood, which I'm all about. Like, I don't want that. So
is that what he believes? Who is talking about George Floyd, I can't breathe hot sauce? Who's talking about that? But you see, here's the thing. Dr. Shadi al-Misri, he knows all this already. He's not ignorant of that. Neither is Eddie from the Dean Show. He knows as well. But they are okay with it. That's the point. They are okay with the white supremacy. And on top of that, they have no issues hiding the white supremacy as an obscure white culture issue. No, it's not. We're not talking about white supremacy. We're not talking about the superiority of white race. We're just talking about certain issues that white people have. That's it. Those certain issues that the white supremacist has is with black people. The perpetual enslavement of black people. We talked about in the beginning about the caste system. The global system of white supremacy. And these folks, your Dr. Shadi al-Misri's, your Eddies from the Dean Show, your Daniel Hakikachu's, your Five Pillars, and on 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 from your Youtubian elites, they are trying to revive white supremacy among the Muslim masses. And they have the masses of the Muslims' ears because they have massive platforms. And they're not trying to correct the white supremacy. They're not trying to curb the white supremacy. They're not even trying to say anything against the white supremacy. They're trying to participate in it.
Yeah, it is super interesting. When people call it a foreign religion, I mean, so is Christianity technically. The only, the American religion would be Mormonism or Scientology or something like that. Like those are actually made in America. It's like, or NASA.
Who the heck asked Owen Benjamin about religion anyways?
That's stupid.
Who does that? Why would you ask Owen Benjamin about religion anyways? Somebody make it make sense. Like, who does that crap? But we ain't done, family. Like, subscribe, share me up on Patreon. Look at here, family. I know it's late night. I know. But you see, I told you we had a hot show, right? I told y'all it was going to be a hot one. Is it delivering? Yes or no? See, they didn't think that anybody would say anything because they are used to the quiet Negro. They're used to the Negro who is in Islam for the participation points. They are used to the Negro who is like, oh, no race in Islam, Negro, They're used to the coons and the shines and those Negroes who want to get in where they can fit in. To go along to get along gang. They're used to that stuff. That's what they're used to. They are not used to the features. They are not used to that. They are not used to people calling them out. They think that they are like the too bigs to fail group. That's what they believe it is. That they don't know it's a new day. Okay? Yesterday's price is not today's price. And C.L. Edwards, he's just made an amazing comment. The Dawa scene is a scam and a grift. That's what it is. Never in 25 years of being Muslim have I ever seen any Islamic channel ever invite a non-Muslim to their channels to sing the praises of Islam. That's a new thing. That's only happened within the last 5 years or so. And it's only one type of non-Muslim that they are inviting to their channels. You can tell who it is even before, you can tell what it is before they even say anything. It's always going to be a white supremacist racist who is in some sort of entertainment or something like some high level figure who got something nice to say about Islam. That's all it is. Even the hard N-word is not off limits for these folks. If you say nigga, no problem. We'll invite you to our channel, we'll revive your career. Believe me, we got a large brown and Arab audience who wants to be white just like you. They just want some white friends. Come on now. Can you imagine? And they're equating Rob DeFore to Owen Benjamin. I would love to hear what Rob DeFore has to say about Owen Benjamin, to be honest. Tawheed Umar says the Feachaz Shadi is close to black Ashari Imams, if I'm not mistaken. So, so what? So what? Islam is based upon principles, not personalities. There is no world that exists in this plane or any other plane of reality where you're going to love one and the other at the same time. That doesn't exist. If you love one, you must hate the other. I'm going to repeat that again. If you love one, by necessity, you must hate the other. There are no more gray areas. It's 2024. Where are the gray areas anymore? All these populist movements have made people polarized. And the Muslims are participating in populist movements. They're not leading populist movements. They're not trying to trailblaze a populist movement. No, they want to follow and chase behind the coattails of Zaddy and them. They want Scooby snacks and biscuits and bones from Zaddy and them. Who thinks to invite Owen Benjamin to talk about Christianity? Who thinks to do that? His career was pretty much done. His career was pretty much on Twitter and Telegram. That was it. Preaching to the white supremacist mob and stuff. He was out there. He went. We all saw it. Even Joe Rogan saw it. He was out there somewhere. They didn't count on us calling them out for this. I promise you that. Well, sucks to be you. Sucks to be you. Talking about the Dean Show. Oh, family, we are going into that. I hope y'all got, you're probably not gonna sleep well tonight because you're gonna be watching this. You're gonna be too hype. Look at here, y'all. Look at here, y'all. You think Brother Bilal is tripping, and you don't, Brother Bilal. My day ones know Brother Bilal ain't tripping. They know because everybody's like, no, that can't be. No, that can't be. Until they see all the receipts that we pulling out. And they ain't got nothing to say.
If you want me to teach you an argument.
They ain't got nothing to say after that. Okay, 1 second, y'all. Let me just get this up.
Please welcome.
Look at this, y'all. Look at this. They playing games. You think they ain't playing games? These guys are playing games. This is proof that they knew it was a bad look. This is Eddie's channel. And he got some world-class Negroes of entertainment. Tyrese, I know who this other dude is. Right? It looks like Russell Simmons, maybe, right? Or Run from Run DMC, maybe. I don't know who that is, right? But we know that definitely Tyrese. This is the Dean Show. 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 Y'all ready? Y'all ain't ready.
Please welcome Owen
Benjamin.
Even you had Andrew Tate. He was like, "Welcome, brother."
That's great. I'm trying to be more mature as a.
Did y'all see that? That's all you need to see. His interviews on his channel. You don't need to see anything else. Why? Now let me ask y'all something. For all the smart Negroes and the smart Muslims in the chat, why do you think the Dean Show put your entertainment Negroes to introduce Owen Benjamin in the beginning? Why do you think he did that? What was the purpose of that? This is the Dean Show. This is the Dean Show. This is the Dean Show. I'm gonna let you ponder about that for a little bit. Let that simmer in your minds for a minute. This is what's happening right now. Shadi Al-Masri, Eddie from Dean Show, Five Pillars, Daniel Hikikuchu, who knows who else, and the rest of them white supremacist revivalist Muslims are making their intentions very clear. They are running interventionist campaigns for white supremacists. We will revive your careers. We will protect you. You think it's just Eddie from the Dean Show? You think I'm joking about Five Pillars? Look at here, man. Look at this, y'all. You can't make this crap up. These people are your brothers. These folks are your Muslim brothers. Keep your Muslim brotherhood. We don't need it. You are the modern day Christian colonialists. You utopian elites. Mouthpieces for white supremacy now. MashaAllah. Not making dawah to white folks in a pointed way. No, not that. Not talking to the issues of white folks in a pointed way. No, not that. Invite any kafir white supremacist, not oblige them to accept Islam. All they have to do is talk nice about Islam. That's it. We'll invite you. You get a platform. No problem. Speak on our platforms. No problem. Watch all Eddie's old videos. Watch him when he first started. 5 years, 10. Watch 10 years of Eddie's first videos. Just try to find one single kafir that he invited. Just try to find one. And then compare that to his videos for the last 3, 4, or 5 years. Just compare. Watch Five Pillars. Watch Muhammad Hijab talking to Jordan Peterson, trying to get in good with Zaddy and them. Oh, I believe that reparations is kind of a leftist, whatever, criticism or whatever. Them folks. The only white supremacists that are off limits to them are the ones bombing Palestine. That's it. Then they remember racism. Then they remember colonialism. What kind of munafiq dawah is this, man? Just call it what it is. Some munafiqun up with these microphones, bro. Call them what they are, man. That's the dawah Islam you want. That's the impression of dawah you want to give to the people now. You just running behind some populist movements. Every populist that come around, here come the Muslims. Oh, Islam is compatible with liberalism, and Islam is feminism. Remember 30 years of that? Islam is feminism. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he's the first feminist. He gave women rights and blah, 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 blah. Who remembers all of that nonsense? Who remembers that stuff? If the white man says it, it becomes Islam instantly. These folks. Look at here.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers, sisters, friends, and the foes out there. And welcome to another episode of the Blood Brothers podcast with your host.
I really, really like that intro that he does. That one he does. Brothers, sisters, friends, and foes. That's really original, man. I really, really like that, man. But anyways, I digress. Let's keep watching.
Dili Hussein. Before I introduce today's guest, I want to remind all the avid podcast listeners that you can find this episode on all 3 seasons on all the major audio platforms. And if you're tuning in via YouTube, don't be cheeky. Remember to click subscribe to the 5 Pillars YouTube channel. Today's guest is a very interesting one. No doubt will stir the emotions and ruffle the feathers on both the Muslim and non-Muslim sides. He is someone who is an iconic figure of somewhat associated with the British far right. He was the former youth leader of the British Nationalist Party and later the head of Publicity. He's the founder of the Patriotic Alternative. And that's none other than Mark Collett. Mark, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me here. It's been a long journey, but I'm sure it'll be worth it.
When someone Googles Mark Collett,
you're going to find the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to say. I'm the bad guy.
Neo-Nazi.
They're going to say all sorts of things about me.
What's your views on National Socialism?
I think National Socialism was a product of its time. I think there's things we can learn from it. I'm not going to lie to you. There are certain things about the National Socialist regime that I admire. And, I have I've gone on record before saying that people should read books from that era, that people should learn about it. And I stand by that.
Do you know what he's talking about, National Socialism? For those of y'all that didn't catch it. For those of y'all who didn't catch National Socialism, National Socialism is the Nazi Party. So he just asked him, instead of asking him in German, he asked him in English. Whatever the German word is for National Socialism, he asked him in English, what do you think about National Socialism? That is code word for Nazism. And he let this cracker go up in front of all. I think National Socialism is great. It was a product of its time, and I really respect. They know what they're doing. This is 5 Pillars. They invite Mark Collett, hardcore white supremacist. Meanwhile, y'all can't make this up, man. Meanwhile, Ali Dow is out here running after Nation of Islam, talking about you guys believe that Elijah Muhammad is God and stuff, and you believe Elijah Muhammad is Allah and stuff. This is what they're doing. You can't make this crap up. Mark Collett of all people. He's not pressing him against white supremacy. He's giving him a platform to tell everybody what white supremacy is. Let's keep watching, y'all.
Culturalism has caused conflict, but I don't want conflict. I do not want conflict. I do not want people at each other's throats. I believe the world is a diverse place where different ethnic groups should be allowed to flourish. So not only am I against
there's a verse in the Bible. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. He was a liar and a murderer from the beginning. How How do you let this man come up here and say all this nonsense, man? How do you let him do that? But if it was a nation of Islam, it wouldn't even be so cordial. They have one language for Zaddy, and they have a completely different language for us. They have one language for them and a totally different language for us. This is crazy, man. This is absolutely nuts. Let's keep watching, yo.
Multiculturalism, but I'm also against Zionist Western imperial wars that try to impose the modern Judeo-American liberal democracy upon other countries.
And as a pan-Islamic Muslim, a white English Muslim is closer to me in this life and the next than a fellow Bengali, my parents are from Bangladesh, who's a Hindu or an atheist. Literally, that is my brother. That Englishman is my brother in this life and next. Our children can marry. We can eat each other's food without questioning, is it halal or not? And that's my brother. That's my people. In terms of priority first.
Yes.
Yeah. But would you regard the 312,000, according to the census 2021, 312,000 English, Northern Irish, Welsh and Scottish Muslims as your people?
Did you hear that question?
You're weird.
Did you hear that? This is what they want. Didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all this is what they want. Family. The Nation of Islam has never, ever, ever had a history of discounting white Muslims from the Brotherhood of Islam. Never. But these folks have the most to say about the Nation of Islam. They have a real live white supremacist in their face. And they're trying to put it in a way, trying to pull on his heartstrings. What do you think is the white supremacist going to say, y'all? Well, sure, yeah, we love the brownies. Like, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Why would you go to your enemy and our enemy and the enemy of Allah and ask the enemy of Allah, who was there as your guest, mind you, on your podcast, if you would consider British Muslims to a Kafir white supremacist your brothers? Are you dumb?
That's stupid.
Are you dumb? This has got to be, honestly, out of all the pathetic things I've ever seen, has to be the top 10 in the Islamic sphere. Has to be top 10. And the absolute pathetic things I've seen on video. He went through this long speech. You know, if a white Muslim was a white Muslim, and he's Muslim and he's white, and I'm Bengali, he'd be closer to me than my Bengali people who are Hindu. He would be my brother. He'd be my brother. Do you consider us white Muslims who are British and Scottish and Irish your brother? What do you think this Zaddy gonna say? What do you think he's gonna say? Well, I don't know, but let's hear, shall we?
That's difficult. I think white Muslims are people. In an ideal world, I don't want white English men or women converting to Islam. I'll be.
Well, you don't say. And this is what the white supremacy does. The white supremacist does. They always try to be diplomatic because they're liars. The white supremacist is a liar. And like I said, there's a verse in the Bible. The devil is a liar. He was a liar from the beginning. And a murderer. That's these folks, these white supremacists. Like, how do you not know? How do you not know? Shall we watch the rest? This is crazy, man. Let's see what he says about the exceptions to the rule. Because, you know, they always have to have an exception because they're doing politics. They doing politics. They've been doing this colonial thing. They mastered this colonialism thing. Tell the people what they want to hear. Like, this is pathetic, y'all. Anyways.
Be honest. But I understand why it's happening.
Why?
Oh, well, that's a simple. That's one of the.
And this is why he's invited to 5 Pillars. This is why. Remember, we said white supremacy is not a red zone for these folks. Saying the N-word is not a red zone for these folks. Hating black folk is not a red zone for these folks. Nothing is off the table. If they can get Zaddy to say something nice about Islam, they will blow them up. So what's he going to say? Let's see. We'll see what Mark Collat's going to say.
Simplest things you could ask me. I was actually talking about this on a stream the other night. I talk about Islam as being morally, at the moment, very strong. Muslims...
That's all they want to hear. That's why they invite Jordan Peterson. That's why they invite Mark Collette. That's why they invite Owen Benjamin and every single person who can say the N-word. Jake Shields. It don't make a difference. We want you to be white supremacists and say something nice about Islam. You don't have to be Muslim. As a matter of fact, it's better if you're not Muslim. Because, you know, the Muslims, we have to kind of, you know, it's a taboo in our community to side with white supremacy. But you can be the white supremacist and say something nice about Islam. You get it? That's the hustle. That's the game. And then you have all these brownies and all these Arabs, like, yeah, you know, and they're running up to these platforms trying to get into where they fit in and say nigga, 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 nigga on their social media platforms as well with their Muslim names. And they have the nerve to tell you that they are your Muslim brothers?
You're weird.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient. Allah is enough for us. Keep your goddamn brotherhood. Run behind the riches and the wealth and the weaponry and the rhetoric and the pseudoscience of your white supremacist zaddies. Go follow them. But never in your life consider us your Muslim brothers. Never. You need to make Tawbah. And you need to make open Tawbah. And even after that, it still wouldn't be enough. This is treacherous beyond treachery. We said this time and time again. Notice, even in the comment section of Owen Benjamin's channel, you saw the Muslim saying nigger, right? You saw that, right? We put it out there. Remember, a couple of months ago, we put a video, the white supremacist Muslim who is using hadith to say that this hadith promotes white supremacy and the supremacy of the white race, even though he doesn't even believe in the hadith, this Ashari Maturidi guy, you know, the hadith of the slave girl. Remember we said that? Muslims love a racist white man. The immigrants, anyways, they love themselves a racist white man. They idolize these guys. You see them on all their pages and on all the channels and stuff, like bottom feeding grovelers, man. And all they have to do, all these white supremacists have to do, they just post some vague garbage about support in Palestine, or talking about how Muslims are based, and like how Mark Collette said, Muslims are highly moral or whatever. And they'll invite them to their channels. Oh, Allah bless you. Allah guide you. Oh, Allah. And the second a black person talking about black issues, brother, there's no racism in Islam. There's no color in Islam. I don't see color in Islam. There's no black and white. We're all brothers in Islam. Now come and clean our toilets in this masjid. To love one is to hate the other. Don't think we are out here begging for brotherhood and biscuits. Allah is enough. Allah is enough. Imagine today if I was to invite Benjamin Netanyahu to the Feachaz because he says something nice about African American Muslims. Would y'all accept that? No Muslim on earth would accept that. Not a single Muslim. It don't make a difference. Why? Because to love Benjamin Netanyahu necessitates the hatred of the Palestinian people. And to love and to compliment and to coddle and to support a white supremacist necessitates your hatred of black people. You cannot love one and love the other at the same time in the same reality. It's not going to work. These YouTubian elites, they are the white supremacist CPR squad. You know when the whatchamacallit, those people, the medics, you know, they come and you're having a heart attack or you just, you know, you're drowning or something like that. And you're nobody thinking about you. Here come the YouTubian elites to invite you to their platforms. Remember when Jordan Peterson, all the Muslims were finished with Jordan Peterson, all of them. Who invited Jordan Peterson to their platform to revive his career? Was it not Muhammad Hijab? The CPR squad for white supremacists, these YouTubian elites. Breathing life into the dead careers of white supremacists everywhere. Your Muslim media moguls, them folks. No conversion necessary. No, don't convert to Islam. Please don't. We just need you to whisper some sweet nothings into the ears of millions of immigrant children and brownies and Arabs and, you know, all this kind of stuff about the niceness about Islam and we know how Islam is so good and blah, 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 blah. And we will send you millions of followers from our platforms. That's all we got to do. Where's Sajid? Where's Wajdi? Remember Wajdi? Oh, it seems like you want to talk about racial issues instead of Muslim issues. Where is he? Never had a refutation he didn't like. Where is he now? Where's Musa Richardson? Remember he did that whole thing on Tahir Wyatt? When Sheikh Imam, Dr. Tahir Wyatt went to the Nation of Islam radio program. Here come Musa Richardson with like over an hour long refutation. And how come Sheikh Tahir didn't press the Nation of Islam on their Aqidah and the white man and the devil and this and this and that? Where are they? Nowhere to be found. We, the black Muslim grassroots, we have to do this work now. We have to do this work. Because those folks are brave against the oppressed. They got no work for the oppressor. Not a single thing to say against them. I don't even understand why these folks, why they even start with the basmala to begin with. It's not making any sense to me. Why do you begin with the basmala, you YouTubian elites who are in these populist movements everywhere? Ever since you arrived in the West en masse as refugees and immigrants and stuff like that, participating in white supremacy in all Western countries. I don't get why I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious. All your Muslim media moguls, not a single one of them have an independent voice. They speak with the voice of Zaddy. Your dawah is the dawah of having Muslims openly participate in populist movements. 30 years, 30 solid, hardcore years. Y'all were tree-hugging feminist liberals. Who remembers that? 30 solid years. Now, all of a sudden, you're Trump-supporting anti-LGBT conservatives. Just like that. From one extreme of the left-right paradigm to the other extreme. You should not say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your religion dictates that you say Bismillah white man the supreme. That's your religion. Bismillah white man the supreme. There's no way that Allah Azza wa Jal is both anti-oppression and pro-white supremacy. It does not exist. Either Allah is anti-oppression or he is pro-white supremacy. If he is pro-white supremacy, bring it from the Quran and the Sunnah. But if he is anti-oppression, then ittaqillah. All you Muslim media moguls, fear Allah. Don't call what you're doing the religion of Islam, because it's not. Allah has given you a very clear, open enemy. And all you can think of to do is coddle that enemy. Coddle, protect the enemy. Give the enemy a platform. Let the enemy spread the enemy's ideas. The same idea of Iblis himself in front of Adam. Ana khayra minhu. I'm better than him. You give that a platform to speak and have all the Muslims talking in the same voice? Give me a goddamn break. Family, sorry, I know it's late night. Like, subscribe, share. I want to thank everybody for participating tonight. I want to thank everybody who supported me in the super chat. I didn't see everybody, sorry. I'm on this new platform, so I want to thank y'all. May Allah reward you and bless y'all who supported me with the super chats. And may Allah reward you and bless and multiply it for you a millionfold. Ameen, ameen, ameen. And I'm going to see y'all later on this week. Subhanaka hamdik wa